Hi, I'd like to talk a little bit about what ghost boxes are and are not. There seems to be a little bit of confusion out there within the paranormal world as to actually what ghost boxes, spirit boxes, and I'm talking really about the physical boxes rather than the apps that you can get on iPhone and Android devices, etc. I'm talking about the physical ghost boxes that ITC builders like myself actually develop and make. There is a misconception that ghost boxes somehow allow spirit or incarnate voices to actually directly come through the speaker of the ghost box, and this is not the case at all and never has been. There are EVP devices which that possibly can happen, and there is some evidence for that dates way back, but this is specifically talking about ghost boxes and spirit boxes. I'm going to give you some little examples in a moment or two, using one of my own FCD boxes, a very simple entry-level device, the Pocket FM hacked radio, to show you exactly how ghost boxes or spirit boxes work. Now, there are some ITC builders out there that lay claim to the fact that boxes have to work in a certain way, and again, that is a misconception and a myth. There is no set rules on how any ghost box works, as long as it works for the person that's operating it and they get through the desired outcome that they're looking for, they want from the box. I'm not saying that everything that they hear will be accurate. I'm not saying that everything that comes through the speaker has had an influence by spirit, but there will be snippets of sound in all ghost boxes which are very relevant to the questions being asked, to the actual location that they're being operated in, and other aspects of the investigation. So what I want to explain to people about in very simple terms, so that everybody can understand, whether you're an ITC builder, whether you're a paranormal investigator, or somebody just generally interested in ghost boxes, how they actually work, and take away this mysticism that somehow has developed around them. Okay, so every ghost box, every single one that has ever been built, going way back to the early days of Frank Sumption and developed through Huff and into the modern era with builders like myself, Simon Cox, lots and lots of other people. The ghost boxes themselves are nothing more than what they used to call broken radios. That is another term that's been given to ghost boxes, the broken radio. And that derives from the fact that what actually happens within the circuitry of a radio receiver, now that can be an AM, an FM, a shortwave, a long wave, it doesn't matter what kind of receiver, as long as it can pick up radio signals, it can be made into a ghost or spirit box. So what we're dealing with here really is an ability within the person who is building the box to be able to affect the circuitry within the radio so that it continually sweeps at a given rate. Now again, this is where the contention comes, where some people will say, well, boxes that sweep across the whole radio waveband at a slower rate cannot be ghost boxes because they let through too much information. And it's where this information is coming from, where these sounds are coming from, that again is the contention. Let me give you an example. If you take, this is just an example, it's not picking on any one particular box, but let's look at an SB7, which most ghost hunters have actually seen or heard about or even got one. Now that cycles through the sweep, that's the actual tuning of the radio that goes all the way through the waveband in the area, and it cycles through there at a specific rate, and in the SB7 it is very fast. So what it's doing, it's going through the same waveband over and over again, but letting through fractions of a second of sounds. So you're only getting parts of words, parts of sounds, and in between that you're getting a lot of static. That's why you hear that white noise, that static in the background all the time. Now on a medium sweep or a slower sweep, such as the FCD Ghost Boxes work on that principle, to let through one or two words, they're just slowing down that cycle slightly, okay, so that it's able to stop on the stations and pick up 1 or 2 words from the same sources as the SB7 box, but working at a slower rate. You could slow that right down, and ghost boxes that like the Cultus box, for example, that has a variable adjustable sweep where you can actually control the sweep. You can slow that right down to actually just be in the radio again, where it will stop on the station and actually stay there and just play radio. So what I'm trying to get at is that all ghost boxes, no matter what they are, whether they're an FCD one, a Cultus box, an SB7, a Huff portal, or whatever, they're all working on the same principle. Now, the question arises again, people have this misconception that they're thinking that the sounds that are coming through, especially in the SB7 because it's going so fast and you're only hearing these very small snippets of words or sounds, that it must be coming from directly from spirit, and that's never the case. It's not the case. But it doesn't mean that ghost boxes are not working with spirit. Let me give you an example. Some people use, for example, I can give you 2 examples, the Ouija board and the dowsing pendulum. Okay, 2 things that are used in paranormal investigations. The Ouija board, what have we got there? We've got a board made of either wood or cardboard or whatever, with symbols on it, with letters, with yes and no, and then we use a glass to actually place our finger on to move it around. Now the conception is that spirit is affecting us to move the glass in a certain direction to convey their message through, either in words or in sentences. It's exactly the same principle as the ghost box. In the ghost box, the sounds that are coming through from the radio stations, whether it be little snippets of those sounds or longer, where you're getting a couple of words come through, the meaning, it is believed, if you go with intention that you want to work with spirit with the ghost box, the words are influenced, or you are being influenced as the operator of the ghost box to pick up on certain words that are coming through that will then convey the message from spirit. So it's a 2-way process, that you're actually working with spirit, but both you and the spirit are using the ghost box, or in that case the Ouija board, to interpret the message coming over to you. As the dowsing pendulum is exactly the same. I used to be a dowser, I still am, but I used to do it a lot in the 1980s. Now again, we know, definitely scientifically we know, that it is ourselves who actually move the pendulum with minute, on a subconscious level, that we don't know we're doing it, because we don't want to cheat. We want to pick up answers from, you know, the beyond or the spirit realm, whatever. So we don't cheat, and we hold the pendulum in our hand, and when it gyrates we get the yes and no answers, etc. Okay, and pick up information. Now again, I believe, and it is believed, that spirit or some unknown entity out there is able to influence ourselves, communicate as an interface with ourselves to the pendulum, so that we move it at the correct time. And this again is very much the same as the ghost box. We are interpreting the information that is coming through from a natural source, the radio stations, through the spirit box, and then we make meaning from it. I'm not saying it would be impossible in the future for spirit to directly communicate through an electronic device, like a telephone to the spirit world. I don't think that would be impossible. But ghost boxes as they stand at the moment are not that. And anybody that tries to tell you that are actually, you know, they're deceiving you. Ghost boxes are an instrument that we can use. Brilliant, they are brilliant, that's why I'm involved in them. I do believe on a psychic level that we all can tune in even without ghost boxes, but I do think for people that don't quite grasp that, I'm lucky I've been a channeler, so I understand the processes that go on between mind to mind communication. But for people that don't, ghost boxes are a way of conveying messages. Okay, so I hope that makes sense to you. If it doesn't, play the video over again a couple of times and try and take in what I'm saying. It's not that the ghost boxes are a fake or a you know, something that we're just using to fool ourselves. They're not. They're on the same power as the dowsing rods, as the dowsing pendulum, as the Ouija board, as any instrument that we use that interprets what's coming through from spirit to ourselves. Okay, I hope that makes sense. So I'm just going to show you very quickly. This is one of our entry-level FCD boxes. Very simple, there's not a lot to it. All there is a couple of buttons that turn this on. But if I can get it near enough the camera for you, it's a little bit grainy in here today because it's not very light. But if I can show you that, I'll turn it on and get the angle for you. It's very difficult to see really. I can get that there for you. And then we press this middle button, very easy to operate. Just press that once. Okay, and if I can just show you, you'll see it sweeping through. Now that is sweeping through the FM wave band, and it's picking up and you know, picking up different bits of snippets of sound. It could be a couple of words, it could be songs, it could be music, it could be anything. Okay, I'll just be quiet for a second and let it do its thing and see what we're picking up here. Okay. I don't have a brilliant signal in here, I never have done. But we will get some things coming through. Hello, is there anybody there that'd like to come through? Hello? Hello, is there anybody there that would like to communicate with us? I'm using it through, I'll just show you quickly, a little amplifier here. I do think my amplifier is charging up, so it might be not picking up as well. Hello? Is there anybody that'd like to come through, please? You see, you're getting a snippet there of the radio station. And what makes the difference is there's no static on these ones, the DSP. So that makes them sound less of a ghost box than something like the SP7. But it's doing exactly the same thing, yet it's not got that hiss behind it all the way through. I'm just going to move it a little bit and see if I can get a better signal. Like I say, you have to use the lead to the amplifier to actually get the and I've got a little device here so I can put a bit of reverb on it. Hello, is anyone there?
Music, to be honest.
Hello, hello. Would you like to come through, please? Cycling through now, looking for strong signals that it can pick up on and send through the speaker. Hello? Are there any spirits with us today that would like to communicate?
Had before
Sometimes you as well, if they've been influenced the sounds by spirit, you can tell the difference. They have a different feel to them when they come through. Hello? Would anyone like to come through before I end this session? Any names? Any names? In spirit that'd like to communicate? Come and show how well this works for us. Just finding a good place to put the aerial really. Hello? Feel spirit around me now. Can you come through please? Okay. Right. Well, I'm in this session there. Okay, I'll turn this off. There we go. Turn my little amplifier off. That's that. Turn my reverb off. But I hope you can get an idea there of the type of thing that Ghost Boxes can offer. And I could show you with other Ghost Boxes as well, you know, how they cycle through quicker. But I hope I've explained it to you a little bit clearer. I am not the sort of person that would go out there and decry anybody else's Ghost Box. They all work differently. They're all as viable as each other's. Anybody that tells you that one Ghost Box is rubbish because it sweeps too slow, or another one is fantastic because it sweeps really fast, that is all down to preference, believe you me. And for an entry level Ghost Box, I do believe that this one, the FCD, yeah, it's a little bit of an advert because I make these, but at least you hear the words coming through clearly and you can interpret them however you want to, and helps you communicate with spirit, and that's what this is all about. Okay, I hope you enjoyed watching this. Thanks very much.